see that the questions already waiting to be shared. While the presentation is being shared, I will probably also like to firstly thank the CBIC for taking some outstanding initiative in easing out the process of clearances, and like even just some time back, Ramaji said whenever there's a complaint, they reach out. In fact, I get messages from messages from the nodal officers and various officers with shipment delegate. With that much, we will start with the presentation. The idea of the presentation is to say how the process can be understood by all, and to the best of our knowledge, we are trying to keep it very simple. The logistics industry as a whole, while I represent express industry, logistics industry as a whole has been working during the lockdown, let it be the freight forwarders, CHAs, or the courier operators. While many of us, including me, have been at home, working from home, these people have been on the field just to ensure the shipments get cleared. This covers basically, there are totally 16 slides that I'll be presenting. 2 of it is a thank you on the start page, right? There are total 7 steps that we are trying to cover. It's about the express industry model. Then we will be talking about how does a booking take place. Then we will talk how does it get dispatched from the origin location, clearance process. It will be a very high level presentation. The express industry works on a door-to-door concept. So there have been people who asked me, do I have to come and collect the shipment from the customs terminal? No, we will do a door delivery. Express is door-to-door unless there is something requiring more information. The general concept is we pick up shipments as late as possible and then deliver as early as possible. A typical cycle is where we book the shipment from the shipper. A pickup is done. After the pickup is done, it goes to our local station where, because the express industry follows the hub and spoke system, it is processed in the local station. From there, it goes to the local gateway location from where the customs clearance is done. Because it is express, the shipments are bound to fly. And again, it will go to the hub and spoke. When we say hub and spoke, typically, like if a shipment is picked up from US, there's a possibility it will go from US to say UK, from UK to Germany, and from Germany to India. So it lands into the country, the destination clearances are done. It comes to the delivery processing center, and then it comes to the consignee. So it's a door-to-door concept, and it becomes more important, especially in this environment where oxygen concentrator seems to be the need of the hour. People are using this. What are the key features? Express is for speed and door-to-door. It's an asset-intensive industry. We have facilities, we have aircraft, there is vehicle fleet, material handling equipment, but all of this is supported by IT and a trained manpower. It's a very labor-intensive industry. We have world-class practices that gets moved across, and there's thought leadership. We have to stay ahead so that we are able to serve locations. The question that people ask is, how do I book a shipment? Shipment gets booked primarily by 3 methods. Either the shipper is an account holder with the express operator, or it's an ad hoc customer who says that come and pick it up from my house, or it's a walk-in customer who goes and picks up the shipment who comes and books the shipment from the booking counter. So the immediate thing that people ask is, if I'm shipping, is it very cumbersome? If you know the invoice process, then it is actually you're enabling the destination country much easier. So the invoice needs to be in English, because putting it in any other language, let it be foreign language, will not be able to interpret. It preferably is to be typed and printed so that there is no misreading or there is no communication gap. Some of the things that we see here are currency. While India uses a free foreign currency methodology, Indian Customs notifies currencies. It's almost some 23 currencies plus that gets notified for an exchange rate. So it is recommended that the currency notified by customs is used. The description needs to be full and clear. I have seen some description that says medical device. That really doesn't help in the clearances. If I'm getting an oxygen concentrator, we must say oxygen concentrator, 5-liter capacity, if possible, a brand name, which makes things much easier for customs to process and then for us as an operator to file the document. Put the right quantity, the true and correct unit of measure. If you are saying one box full of medical devices, doesn't help. You will have to say one medical. If there are some spares, do mention the spares. The value, it needs to be true and correct. There are times when we get a gift, but that too needs to be mentioning the actual price that is paid or payable by the shipper or from wherever it was procured, so that we don't end up. There are times when we see that sometimes the declaration is $50 for an oxygen concentrator. If that is the case, then the full country will be getting it at $50. So give the right method. And Incoterms are what is also known as international commercial terms. It is preferable that the DDP sent if it is a gift, so that the consignee does not have to bother about paying the duty. But of course, non-DDP can also be sent. What does the express operator do on booking of a consignment? First, the shipment profiling is done at the origin as applicable. The business of express goes on wait, so there'll be a payment done. There'll be a compliance check done from a global security and destination prohibition angle, but that will be a broad thing. They are not experts of everything. And then finally, the courier operator will accept the airway bill and update in the system. Because it's an IT-enabled system, they'll be putting the data through. You'll find invariably whichever courier shipments you pick up, there is some information online in the courier operator's system that may come between anywhere between say 30 to 120 minutes, depending on the efficiency of the operator. How does it happen? The dispatch from the origin, the express operator post pickup processes the shipment at dispatch. As I told, it's a hub and spoke system. So they will do an export clearance at origin. Once it is export clearance is done, it will be connected to the aircraft, and the express, as I said, follows the hub and spoke system. So it will go to the various hubs where it will be processed further. So coming to the key topic of oxygen concentrator. Oxygen concentration at India, what we need is the consignees KYC and authorization. It's a mandate no matter who's importing. Since I'm talking of courier, the courier bill of entry will be filed in Express Cargo Clearance System, ECCS, which is a beautiful software set up by CBIC to handle the huge volumes of courier shipments. Millions of shipments are getting cleared, which is relevant from the customs documentation. And the exporter, there is a question that asks who will pay for the duty in the courier environment. The express operator pays the duty, and then on behalf of the importer, and then reclaims it. It's not that it is free of charge. Then it is the claim is asked, but at times where the amount is higher, they ask for an advance duty and then pay. But the express operator will pay in the ECCS system. So let's come to a very specific point of individuals. The import is by an individual. Again, KYC becomes very important. 4 key documents: Aadhaar, passport, voter ID, PAN plus address. Because PAN does not have an address, plan plus an address proof. This is in line with Circular 9 of 2010 for KYC, and also updated further. There are many more changes that are come. 33 of 2010 is for courier, but then it has been amended multiple number of times to make it easier. The shipments, all these shipments of oxygen concentrator will get classified under 9804. As my learned friend I told earlier, the duty rate, there is no basic duty, there is no health cess. It is exempted by notification 28 of 21, but IGST of 12% is payable when import is done by an individual. There are these queries that come up. IGST is not waived for import by individuals. If we look at imports by non-individuals, it could be companies, it could be NGOs, etc. The classification will get done in 9019. The rate of duty again is 12%, but as Vishal Saab said, there is a special ad hoc exemption available under 4 of 2021 for where the item is imported free of charge and is for free distribution, subject to. Ramaji also said about the nodal authority of the state who will actually certify. So if that is done, to qualify, then the shipment can be cleared duty free. So end of the day, again, the consignee responsibility of a non-individual, KYC, very simple, important. Comply with the provisions of the Act and pay the duties and taxes. Again, here the courier operator will pay, and then we can reimburse it to them. What about medicines? Medicines, again, the fundamentals remain the same. KYC is important, filing is important. But here, again, even for imports by individuals, even medicines will get classified under 9804. The basic duty for medicines comes under 10% plus special charges plus IGST. Some of these can be exempted if it is covered as a life-saving drug or certified by the competent authority, like say Director General Health Services or such other authority. it can be exempted. If it is medicine, what is most important? I'm repeating what Vishal Sanap sir said. The individual needs to apply for the import license via CDSC online, which is seen here. It's a you apply through Form 12B, and then you get a final approval from Form 12A, and then you get Form 12B. Now, if the medicines are imported through non-individuals, the fundamentals remains the same, but non-individuals will provide the applicable drug license, and ADC NOC is mandatory. What is it that delivery and destination? Something which is very basic that it is asked, and it is, we appreciate what is the questions, After the delivery, the customs clearance, the delivery process gets triggered. The dispatch of shipment is from the clearance location to the processing zone, because we need to realize it's hub and spoke. And it could be that I clear shipments in Delhi and then somebody wants to deliver it, say at Raipur. There is a process involved in hub and spoke. And then we initiate the delivery process if payment is ready where applicable. So here are some pointers. If it is DDP, the consignee need not pay the duty. Every operator has his own duty policy. So DHL or FedEx or UPS or DTDC, each of them have their own duty policy. Some of them, all of them would probably advance the duty payment on their behalf, and sometimes they may seek advance. By authorizing the authorization, the consignee is liable to pay the duty. You can't say, I will not pay duty. If it is there, we pay. If that is a wrong classification, there is always way to amend it. How do we deliver? There's a question asked to me earlier. How do we deliver? You don't need the do. It is there are two options. One is contactless delivery, because we know it is COVID time. CBIC has been good enough to notify this process. You will get an OTP. On the basis of the OTP, the delivery will be done, so that you don't need to sign and get worried on the signature. Or you can, delivery is also done taking signature on proof of delivery as per the options taken by the consignee. But it's a door delivery. Of course, there are a few exceptions where people want to take it faster. Then there are some consignee collect options again, but the process of contactless delivery and checks will be done depending on the scenario. But always people like to get the shipments at home rather than they coming and doing this activity. It is always suggested when you book a shipment, because this is what has been observed. When you book when the shipper books a consignment, they must ask, it's your right to ask what would be the transit time, when is the expected date of delivery, so that you can plan your move accordingly. Not that we stick to the time of, say, if I say it is going to come in 5 days, if it comes earlier, we also try to deliver earlier, because that's why people use Express. Here is some very useful information. Those of you who want to take a screenshot, photo, or whichever, there are some of the prominent operators whose details are available with us. Aramex, DHL, DTDC, it's in the alphabetical order. That if you have an issue or you want to book a shipment, use the customer care number, use the customer care email ID. That will be useful. So if you want to track the shipment, you can call the customer care of the express operator. You can use the website, or you can also, some of the operators have a mobile application, use that. But more importantly, there is also one more thing of, you can't get FIPT. If somebody says I have not, your bill of entry is filed and is stuck in customs, you just go to this website of ECCS Mobility, which is a tool developed by CBIC, fantastic tool. Just put the arrival number and put the operator name, and you will know what is the status of the shipment. This has been tweeted also by CBIC. Even we have to, even the express industry has tweeted. Please use this. This brings in transparency, and it's a good initiative by CBSE, making things much convenient. There are possibilities of grievances. So if you have any grievance, please call the customer care of the concerned express operator. These numbers are here. You can use it. Or you can also register the grievance via email. So there are email IDs that are given, and you go to the website. All express operators will have a website. Use it. Grievance resolution, the customer care response and actions are taken by the customer care. So there is a grievance resolution methodology that can be done. With that, I should say thank you, because I know that time is limited. So with this, we'll be open for questions. Dr. Saab, all yours.